first quintile, we have Mpumalanga Simfolile Secondary School in third place, Ivis Zimbusiso Chisale.
The reason why I want the exam tip is because you have studied, you have practiced enough, but now we don't want you to make a mistake in the exam room now. Yes.
Yeah. So with maths specifically, I think it's the 7 marks. It just makes sense to.
Hello guys, welcome back to Gift Varsity TV. This is your host Gift Pozekana. Hi.
Hi.
How are you, man?
I'm good.
Yeah.
Tired but good.
Good. Guys, you know that in this channel we bring the best. Don't forget to like, subscribe right now. We are on our road to 100,000. Only 25,000 people are left. We have almost 75,000 in the room. Just click a subscribe, it's free, and share to others and leave a nice comment under this video. Please introduce yourself to my viewers at home.
Wait, do I say what I am or who I am?
Hey, you can drink, bro. Who are you?
Okay, who I am. Okay, my name is Irvis Zibusiso Chisale. Is this the part where I tell them what I am now?
What are you?
Oh, okay. I was the third best
No.
top achiever in the country in Quintal 1 schools.
Oh, number 3 in Quintal 1 schools in the entire country, guys. Right. Wow. So, man, you're a top achiever. You're on a television. It means that there's something that you did that was so different, and all of the stuff. I don't want to delay our matric students who are watching us. We want to be brief and clear, about how you start and make sure. But we need to get into your results first, man. Right. So, what did you get for mathematics then?
I mean, I was a bit disappointed, but yeah, I got a 97% in math.
97%. What else? Physics.
Got 98% in physics.
98%. What else? Life science.
Life science. Wait. Oh, it was 98% in physics in life sciences.
Okay.
And I think it was 95% in agricultural sciences.
Oh.
I just don't remember the. Oh, wait.
LO.
LO. I don't remember.
No, guys, we're gonna display it now.
Yeah,
you will see it. You will see them.
You will see. And like in my languages, but I know of the 4 sciences.
Okay. What was your average in total? You don't remember?
It's been a long time.
Yeah, you know what they say is even in the Bible, in the scripture, saying that you forget all of the things that are behind and you focus on the things that are ahead, that are yet to come. I hope you know the scripture.
I don't know the scripture, but yeah,
you have heard something like,
something like that. But yeah, I mean,
can you come closer? Yeah.
I've been battling with a lot of marks this year, so I forgot.
Yeah,
I forgot what I got. But yeah, it is something greater than 90% that I can assure.
Okay, let's get to your study tactics and your study methods. In grade 12, people are in the exam season right now. Like, how did you conduct yourself? What were you doing to make sure? And you're gonna give us some exam tips. How you do? What do you do when you finally in the exam to make sure that you collect all the marks? Well, because now saying how did you start at the beginning of the year is gonna be. Let's just try to squeeze it now. In this Molanyana pressure now.
So I mean, to say there's a one size fits all, I don't think there's a one method that would work for everyone. But for me, one thing that I paid notice to is that it doesn't make sense to study 2 weeks before an exam. It doesn't make sense to me. It just did not make sense. I'm writing this exam in 2 weeks time, then I'm gonna start preparing for it now. It just because by the time the exam comes, I would have already forgotten everything if I did not read to understand. Which then brings me to the second point, is that you have to read to understand. You have to study to understand, not study to reproduce. For example, I want to say in life sciences, right? In life sciences, they just teach you, let's take the negative feedback mechanism, for example. they teach you what happens when blood sugar rises or water levels drops. They just teach you what that means, what are the feedback mechanisms that take place in the body. But you would then have to, they would give you a scenario. For example, they say an athlete is practicing or something. You then have to understand, if someone is practicing, then these the levels of these will increase, the levels of these will drop, and all of that. So if you only read to just reproduce, you would not be able to answer the question per se. So my point is, you just have to read to understand. You have to read to understand that even if I wake you up at 4 a.m., you can just tell me what happened because you understand what are the procedures, what's happening. So basically, with your content subjects like your life sciences, your agricultural sciences. Okay, I'm just going to talk about those two because that's what I did last year. So you have to learn to understand, but with a bit of physics also. You don't just have to take values and plug them in the formula. You have to understand what each question is asking of you and what everything. Basically, just learn to understand your content. Don't learn to reproduce. Do not memorize. That's what I'm trying to say. And I also believe that there's a difference between smart people and hard workers, and I'm a bit of both, right? Um, Approaching my final exams last year, I remember there were times where I only slept 2.5 hours a day. So in my school we had this program, this extra classes program, which ran from 6:30 in the morning up until I think it was 5, forgotten, and up until 5. So, and it would take me like an hour to walk back home because it was a bit close. But as a group of friends, you're walking around making jokes, all of that. So basically, from I would leave home around 6 and then come back home around 6. 12 hours at school, right? And then obviously you're gonna have to do things like an hour. That's what I reserved to myself. Would okay, if I have to like chill with the family, greet people, prepare for the next day and all of that, I would do it in that space. Oh, and eat, like all of that, I would do it in that hour from 6 to 7. But by 7:30, I would make it a point that I am asleep, such that at 9, 9:30, I'm awake, and then I'm starting to study for the next day. I'll study from that until I think around 5 the following morning. So yeah, that was me. It worked for me because also I study well at night. I study really well at night, and I believe that there are less distractions at night. Like, a few people are online, so you would not get those chats that are disturbing you and all of that. So I just prefer studying at night. It works for me. I don't know about anyone else, but yeah, it did work for me. Here I
No.
am right now.
Yeah, you're at Wits University. No, my guy. Yeah, I think maybe we'll ask it next year or from other top achievers. How did you conduct yourself throughout the year and everything? But now let's get to it, the exam now, right? Here you are going to write your. I don't know whether you've written your mathematics. I don't know, guys. But how did you make sure that? Let's say, okay, individually, let's get to mathematics. In the exam, what did you do to make sure, like, yeah,
Okay.
give
So
me
with
the exam tips now. The reason why I want the exam tip is because you have studied, you have practiced enough, but now we don't want you to make a mistake in the exam room now. Yes.
yeah. So with maths specifically, I think it's the conceptual understanding. It just boils back to the understanding of the concept, right? So with my maths paper 1, wait. Okay, I did not have a problem because I still remember which questions I got wrong, but it's fine. So with my maths paper 1, I mean, I think you should capitalize on question 1. Is it question 1 where you have to solve for x? Exactly. You just have to capitalize your marks there and your functions. I mean, you don't have to. One thing that I always keep on telling myself is that whenever you're doing a question, you don't have to complete it. You don't have to write the whole question. You don't have to answer all of the questions, the sub questions under a question, right? Suppose you have question 1, 1.1 through 1.5. If you see which, okay, I can't make it to 1.5, it's pointless for you to try and spend an hour trying to answer 1.5, because I think 1.5 are one of the most hardest questions in solve for x in algebra, right? Solve for x, there's like that last question, usually like 1.4, 1.5, where it tests your your conceptual understanding of algebra. Do you know how to read a statement and write down equations, right? So I mean, you have question 1 and it's out of 27 marks. it just makes sense to spend 27 minutes doing that question. It just makes sense to spend 27 minutes doing a question worth 27 marks. That is how I did it, and very important, you have to have your own watch. Have your own watch to just time yourself, right? A 27 marks makes more sense to a 27 marks question makes more sense to do it in 27 minutes. So that is what I usually did, is that for a 50 marks question, I would spend 50 minutes maximum to it, and then I'll move on to the next one. By the time I am finished, I'm on the last question, and I'm finishing up the last minutes of that question. I mean, I would have like a few minutes left, and then go back and then try to just look at which questions I might attempt to do. Suppose in question 1, I left 1.4. If I see that, okay, I'm not going to be able to do this question 1, I move on to the other questions, to the next questions where I left off other questions. Because, I mean, you can try question 1 and then 1.5, you can't do it, you move on to question 2. 2.3, you can't do it, you move on. Like, that's how it works. And then at the end, you then just come back and look at the question and be like, out of all these questions, which one do I think I can attempt and I might get the answer? Because, I mean, the level of difficulty of the questions is different. So it also doesn't make sense to spend 30 minutes trying to answer a question worth 4 marks. You've wasted 150 minutes already, and we have, what is it, 110, because the question is like 3 hours. The question paper is like 3 hours. So you have 110 minutes. It also doesn't make sense that you spend 30 minutes trying to answer a 4 marks question. So you just gauge your questions, you look at them, and you look and be like, 10 marks, okay. Obviously, the final answer is not worth 10 marks. 10 marks is distributed along the thinking process, along the equations, along all of the things that I have to write throughout the question, right? So, I mean, I can try and write the answer halfway through. When I see I'm stuck, I then move on to the next one. Because, trust me, it's not, the final answer is not worth 10 marks. It's like a mark or 2. So you just have to do the thinking processes, have to write down your equations, try to just structure your question and be like, okay, from here I would do this and do this and do this, even if I don't get to the answer, but at least I've capitalized like 5 or 6 marks before I get to the answer.
All right. Checks now, right? I feel like I'm the same way I'm thinking of physics is how you approach the same, like for mathematics as well. So let's go to the theory. The night before the examination, did you start, or what did you do to make sure that you consolidate?
Oh no, the night before an exam, I made it a point that by 9 I'm asleep. Because I mean, I don't know who told me this, but like your brain when you sleep, it then sorts and compartmentalizes what you have to remember and what you have to forget. Suppose now you studied up until 12 and you have an exam at 6. What that then makes, I don't know if it's true, but what that creates is that, well, I've experienced it once, is that it creates a brain fog. So basically, you know that you've learned this, but you can't remember exactly. You see, you be like, okay, I saw this. I mean, I did this. I studied this, but I now can't remember. It's because you did not give your brain enough time to compartmentalize everything and be like, okay, this we're gonna remember, this we're gonna forget, this we're gonna remember, this we're gonna forget. So the night before an exam, and I'm grateful for the parents I had. Okay, I have. Okay, I have. Because I think I had the best mom ever. In that month, the beginning of towards the end of October, and like, okay, let me just say, for the entire exam period, they limited my chores. I Not that limited, I actually had nothing else to do than to study. I think that's one thing parents should try and implement, that during exam season you just like exempt your kids from doing any chores at home. So with me, I never had any chores except of course for bathing myself and feeding myself, and then that was like basically it. That was it. So I would study I told you that I would sleep around 7, wake up at half past 9, study the whole night, um, bath, go to school, come back, same thing. But the day before an exam, my studying ended at 9. My studying ended at 9 because I did not want to just, I mean, if you had the whole year to do all of 15 chapters, there is absolutely no way that you're gonna do 10 chapters the night before. There is absolutely no way. You have the whole year to do 15 chapters, and then when you want to do 10 chapters the night before, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. So one of the other principles that I had was that if I see that there's something that I don't know, there's a topic that I did not cover, let me just study enough the ones that I know that when should a question come on these ones, I get all the marks. But instead of trying to just pick and choose on that topic what and what not to study and waste time, let me use that time to just consolidate my knowledge on these topics that I know and I have studied before, such that should questions come on these topics, I'm just gonna get all of the marks. I'm gonna capitalize on these topics because I mean there's also no way that two topics would have marks weighing more than 10 out of 10 topics. So that is what I usually did. Wuti, okay, it's the day before an exam and I haven't done all of my studying. I still have topics left. Let me just ditch the other topics and just focus the remaining time on the topics that I've done just to consolidate my knowledge on these ones and such that if questions come and then I just capitalize on the marks.
All right. Let's not waste too much time. And I know now you are about to also prepare for your exams here at university and stuff and all of the stuff. Did you have a way that you studied the theory? Just a smaller nyana? Like how did you start? 2 seconds, how did you study the life science? You mind map? Did you do cramming? All of the stuff. How did
So what I did was I had a lot of colorful pens. And I bought, like I did not buy, I took from school the blank A4 pages, right? And then I would break those in half, like by length, fold them in half, and then I would I would just summarize an entire topic into just like this big in a paper. So I don't write everything. I just write the main points, and then I would try to, how do I put this? I have this very huge chunk of work. What I do is I just take the subtopics, I write them down, and then on this side, so my page is folded into two. On this side of the page, I write the main subtopics, and then I would then expand on this side of the page. So basically, the left side of the page is where I write my, suppose you have chapter 2, my 2.1, 2.2, 2.3, the breakdown of the chapter, right? And then each chapter, is it subtopic? I then break it down on the right side of the page, and I make it a point that I use very colorful colors because I think romanticizing studying is what makes it more interesting. You just, if you, for example, a friend recently told me that she wants her parents to buy her an iPad because it would give her the edge to want to study because she'd be using an iPad, right? So you just have to romanticize your studying. You just have to make it look cute, if that's the word. Just make it look so that it's interesting. But yeah, you just break down the work, and then that is the method that I used, and it worked for me. Folded an A4 blank A4 paper page in half, and then on the left I write down the subtopics, and then on the right side of the page next to the subtopics I then break them down and then just write what I think is important, and I'll just read through. And before I sleep, day before that exam, I just go through those pages because they have summarized the entire textbook. So basically I'm just reading through. Yeah.
So, right, let's go to what did you decide to start, and then we close. What did you decide to study at University of Witwatersrand at Wits? Guys, you are at Wits. As you see, this is Wits University. We'll see you next year. Those who are coming to Wits, those who are coming to UCT, will be at UCT. This is Wits. Okay.
So on the day I got my acceptance letters, confirmation messages, I think I might have made a decision that I'm yet to regret my entire life, but it's fine. I'm enjoying it now. I'm enjoying it now. So I'm doing a BSc in actuarial sciences at Wits, and I mean the experience has been humbling, but I think I'm starting to actually enjoy the content because knowing myself, I'm more into explaining why things work. Why does the human body works like it does? Why does the universe work like functions as it does? Like basically, I'm just into explaining. But now I have this challenge that I have to work with numbers. I have to work with other people's money, and yeah, but I think I'm starting to actually enjoy this thing. But yeah, I mean, it's been a humbling process. It's been a humbling process. I might have failed here and there, but here we are now. And yeah, I'm enjoying. I've grown as a person.
You've learned from the mistake. No, it happens, guys. It happens.
It happens to the best of us.
It happens.
It happens to the best of us.
Sometimes you ask yourself, what happened to me? Maybe someone is bewitching me. The experience is the same for everyone. My guy, what are the last words that you can tell to all the grade 12s that are watching us all over the country now. Like, what can you say to them that will keep them inspired, keep them motivated in this critical times, you know?
hmm So, me, I am from the Bundus. Back home is at the Bundus. So we have very limited resources, right? But one thing that I now believe is that with what you have, you can make wonders. With what you have, you can make wonders. You don't have to be born into the Mutsepe family to make it to national TV or to make it to the national awards. You don't have to be going to Model C schools to make it to the national awards. Well, you might, but I mean, even those who come from very disadvantaged backgrounds, I just want to say that the resources you have, they are enough. It's up to you how you make use of them. Because I did not, like, I don't want to say I did not have the best of teachers, but my school, we had very limited resources. It was not a bad school, but we had very limited resources, right? But with those resources that we had, I had to find a way to make them work, and trust and believe they do work. You just have to have faith in your teachers. Yeah, you just have to have faith in yourself, and most of all, self-confidence. Because I think one of the things that got me through my exams last year was the confidence that I know the content. So just believe in yourself and don't forget to drink water.
Don't forget to drink water. Okay, thank you so much for having you in this channel. Gift varsity. I can't wait to interview other national top achievers. Guys, please, wherever you are, even if you are in Harvard University, I'll fetch you. Even if you are where in the MIT, I'll fetch you. You know, my guy, I wish you all the best with your studies here at Wits University. And guys, who is coming after him? Who is coming after you? I mean,
I have for them the big guns. I have for them the big guns. I have this kid back at home.
yeah,
That kid is doing wonders.
yeah.
I've actually been intimidated myself, but yeah, I have the big guns in store.
Yeah. Guys, don't forget to like and leave a nice comment, and don't forget to subscribe, share to others about this video. We have received very much helpful strategies on how to approach the question papers and the exam, and how to make sure you don't panic and you become the best. What I like about what he said, you don't need to have too much resources. Just use what you have, do what you can, and it's highly possible you'll see yourself at that. Thank you, man. Thank you.